Good.
Number 3, loving your neighbor means showing grace. You know, I put emphasis on showing. It means to show the grace, not just to talk about the grace, to actually show it, display it. I like this quote: grace takes the seed of God's love in the soil of our heart and creates fruit for the kingdom of God. I like that. 1 John 4 says, beloved, if God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. So that talks about the love that you have for your brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yeah, and here's the thing about that is, you know, that's also calling to show grace to neighbors that are challenging, to enemies that are neighbors.
To bear with them.
You know? So I think that
I think showing grace is also bearing with one another, right?
Yeah. I think that's important, man, to remember, is that because sometimes we feel like we can just handpick those people we can show grace to.
Mm-hmm.
And the gospel definitely doesn't allow that.
Right.
Because you were God's enemy, and he extended his grace to you.
Yeah.
And so I always like the C.S. Lewis quote about, you know, cutting the branch that you're sitting on. You know, it's true. You know?
No, it's definitely
it's just funny how people talk so much about grace and love. We got to do this, but then when you do that personal like application, especially when it's not convenient, it's very hard to actually do it at that point.
Yeah.
But it's hard because I think we haven't allowed enough gospel into our hearts to compel us strongly to love. You know, and then, you know, it just is telling of our, you know, heart that's still being sanctified.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our evil nature definitely shows at times whenever it comes to knowing that we should love our neighbor and we just don't do it. We're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's not today.
Yeah.
I'm good. And we'll get into that later too. There was into the forgiveness part of that.